There's been a lot of talk lately that the new model GLM 5 is nearly as good as Claude Opus 4.6. Opus 4.6 has been the reigning champion, both for vibe coding and for serious development. So today I'm going to put them to the test and see how they both do in real-world scenarios. By the way, my designer agent did an interesting job at deciding what these two models must look like as robots, and I must say that Claude is a very lovely ladybot. Alright, let's get started. So I'm going to head over to my agents, and here I have my Claude Opus agent and my GLM agent. Let's start with Opus, the reigning champion. So I'm starting here with a blank system message, and all I've done is under LLM model, I've just selected Claude Opus 4.6, and I'm going to have it create a lead capture. So I'm going to say, create eidolon/pages/lead capture. Make up an offer to use for it. And actually, I need to give it some more information here. Create a self-contained HTML doc. And let's actually label the page so that we know how to find it later. There we go. And we'll send this. All right, and I'll let it cook for a second. All right, that was pretty fast. It created the 90-day AI automation blueprint. Let's go see how it did. So under my workspace, I'm going to click Pages. And here's my new page, the lead capture, and let's see what it looks like. Let me pop this out. All right, not bad. Now, for some reason, AI absolutely loves blue and purple, and this landing page is no exception. But that aside, it looks pretty nice. I'm not actually sure how it knows that my company is Eidolons, or that we do AI workflows. It must have looked around a little bit before it created it. But no worries, let's see how GLM does with the same prompt. All right, so let me get back to my agents. Here we go. And this time I'll look at the GLM agent. And again, I have no starting system prompt. And all I've done is under LLM model, I've selected GLM 5. So now I'm going to just paste in the exact same prompt that I gave to Claude, and we'll see what it does with this. I'll create a professional lead capture page with a compelling offer for you. Oh, yay. All right, and it's finished, and it created a 30-minute AI strategy session valued at $297. Cool, let's go take a look. Back to my workspace, going to Pages, and I forgot to tell it to put its name here, so we'll just add GLM to the title, and let's have a look. Oh no, GLM. No, what? Okay. All right, well, this is a landing page. And I mean, to be fair, this is competent. It did the job for me. You can see it still really likes the blue and purple. But if we're thinking about aesthetics, then Opus definitely takes the win on this one. Okay, let's give it a harder task though. All right, so in my documents, I have here this visual style guide, as well as this entire folder with information about my homepage. Now, these three files here were just used to create this one. This one is my actual copy that I want to use on the homepage. So what I think I'm going to do is just feed it this homepage file and then also my visual style guide. All right, so let's get back to our agents, and then Claude, you're up first, and I'm going to tell it to read. Actually, you know what? There's a better way to do this. Let's go back to edit the system prompt, and I'm going to actually build these documents directly into the system prompt. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit ##, and that creates the header, and we'll make a read first section. And then here, I'm going to put links to the pages that I just showed you. All right, here's the home page. And then to pull this up, I hit the square bracket twice. And now I'm going to find the visual style. And by putting these here, it's actually going to add the documents into the system prompt. So now we're going to say, create a self-contained HTML document, eidolon/pages/sales page opus. All right, and now because it has these documents built into it, it should give us a more specific result. So let's send this. All right, and it's finished. Let's see what it gave us. All right, so back to Pages. And here's sales page opus, preview, and let's take a look. Okay, all right. What are these down here? Oh, I thought these were clickable. Nope. All right, this is the copy from my document. Okay, so it's nice looking. There's some nice little animations. There's no graphics on it because I didn't give it any graphics, but it looks like everything's here. Everything is nice and organized. It looks clean. It apparently went with purple and yellow instead of purple and blue. Our integration section here. Okay, I'm into this. I think it did a pretty good job. There's definitely some stuff I'm going to want to add to a final version, but I feel like it followed the instructions pretty well. Okay, cool. Let's see what GLM comes up with. You know, one thing that's kind of weird here is it just added this AI operations platform to the very top. That's definitely not in the source document. It just pulled it somewhere out of the middle of the document. And I was like, I'm just going to stick this to the top. All right, so let's go find GLM. Here we go. Now I need to paste in the context. So that way we have the same starting point. And I'll paste in the prompt, and I'll just replace Opus with GLM. And I'll send this, and we'll let that cook for a minute. All right, and it's done. And let's go see how it did. So once again, back to pages, and here's sales page GLM. And I'll preview, and what the, okay, it actually made a sales page for GLM. That's a interesting choice. It went a lot more literal, right? This almost just reads as a document. This isn't really a hero section. All right, so I'm scrolling through. We have our core capabilities. It kind of created something here, but it looks like it completely disregarded the sales page altogether. You know, I feel like I just want to give it one more chance. Like maybe it didn't see the documents or something. So I'm just going to tell it to read these 2 documents and to try again. We all deserve a second chance, right? Okay, so it's given a half response. It says, now I'll create a proper sales page for GLM. I feel like this is not going to be what I want still. All right, so it's finished. Let's see what it did. Back to pages, sales page GLM, preview, and oh my God. So it's basically the same thing. And it literally just read the homepage copy document and it just still ignored it. I don't know, man. Sometimes I see these hype bros talking about these models. They'll say stuff like, oh, this GLM is just as good as Opus. And man, this is not as good as Opus. Are other people having different experiences? Let me know in the comments if you have a different experience. This is just, it's not as good. All right, I want to try one other thing. All right, so there's one more thing I want to try with the sales page. If I go over to my docs here, you'll see I added this site design folder. Inside here, I have 4 documents of deep research that very thoroughly explain all of the best practices for high converting landing pages. And I mean very thoroughly. So we're starting these guys out with a lot of context here. Basically, what I want to see is how well they can follow all of this context. Is the large amount of context going to degrade the quality of the output, or is it going to handle it pretty well and adhere to everything? Based on the first 2 results, I have an idea how this is going to go, but let's give our guys a chance. So in my Opus agent, under my read first section, I'm going to add all of the documents that I just showed you. There's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to give it the exact same prompt I did earlier. The only difference is that now it has a ton of context. And just for the sake of being quick, I'm going to go ahead and let my other agent run at the same time. So I'm going to my GLM agent. I'm going to paste in this read first section here. So it's got the exact same context. I'm going to give it the exact same prompt and let it run. Let's go check on my first guy. All right, so GLM is finished. Let's jump over to our pages, and I believe Opus is also finished. So let's take a look at Opus first and preview, and here it is. It's a little bit more colorful now, interesting. All right, we got this connected with the tools you already use section here. Got this nice, the old way versus Eidolon's different section for building blocks, one platform. Okay, definitely added stuff that wasn't in the original sales page copy, but aesthetically it looks pretty nice. Okay, I think this is supposed to be a little window, like a little browser window pretending to be the Eidolon's app. I think it did not do a phenomenal job at this. And this is another similar window. Like, it's pretty good. I could work with this, you know, I could make this work. Oh, this is fun. I like this. GPT-4o, okay. So that was definitely not in the copy. That's somewhere beyond the model's knowledge cutoff. All right, man, this is a long sales page. Imagine yourself, one person achieving all of this. All right. Yeah, you know, I would definitely want to clean up these fake windows and probably make them look like the way the actual app looks. But I'd say all in all, it looks pretty nice. Like it's a good start. I don't think my sales page had an FAQ in it, but that's fine. It was probably following the best practices that I gave it. Okay, I'm gonna give it like a B minus, or maybe a solid B. Like, it's got some definite work to do, but like I could work with it, you know. All right, let's see how GLM did. This is your last chance, GLM. Let's preview and load it up here. Huh. Okay, all right. I did this same section right here. Oh man, it's trusted by Acme Corp. Wow, 98% satisfaction rate. Everything you need to automate your business. All right, so check it out. It has these 4 core building blocks right here, but then there's actually 6, and it kind of invented a couple reliable results. I mean, like, yes, but that's not one of the 4 building blocks. And man, look at this asshole. It still made it a GLM page. It's still trying to sell GLM. I mean, I guess that's fair. It did say sales page GLM. Why traditional automation falls short. The problem, the GLM solution. Man, you built by operators for operators. Pricing looks pretty good. FAQ. It did a lot of the things exactly the same. Interesting. So, all right, random weirdness aside, This is far and away the best result that GLM has given me in this entire video. This one does actually almost look as good as the Opus version. If Opus was a B-, I would give this a C+. Alright, so what does that mean? Well, for one thing, it might just mean that GLM is pretty capable, but you need to give it a lot of instruction. It seems like the Opus page was just more usable right out of the box. And with GLM, I did end up getting a pretty good result eventually, but it was only after I fed it like thousands and thousands of tokens worth of context. So I've got to say I'm pretty impressed because it did better than I thought it would. And like I could see myself using this for stuff, except that I'm already paying $200 a month to Anthropic, so I might as well just keep using it. But if you're on a budget and you don't mind giving a lot of instruction, then you might get pretty good results with GLM. Alright, so where does this leave us? Let's ask our designer agent. So to wrap this up, it looks like Claude Opus 4.6 is still the reigning champion. GLM started coming back in the third round, but at the end of the day, GLM just couldn't beat Opus. Alright guys, let me know what you think of these models down in the comments. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.